Yeah, Drake. So when we were looking for Halloween music the other week, this is actually the same playlist that we kind of went through and was like, this music's really not hitting it. I skipped ahead like a bunch of songs. It's like, you know what? Some of these actually are pretty nice. Riker, thank you for the heart attack. Unfortunately, my desktop audio was muted when you did that, so I'm pretty sure y'all only heard the tail end of it, but scared the crap out of me. Congratulations, you did your job. Oh dear God, what'd you do, Drake? Boo. We got Phoenix in here too. I wish I could set this thing to only do like orange, purple, and like blue. Those are the creepiest colors that this thing can do, but you can't set the colors that it fades in and out. Hate it. She's having her brother play Phasmagoria virtual reality. Oh god, I couldn't imagine. And someone played the gunshot clip. Oh no. And me having headphones on with all volume max, not knowing it was coming. Oh no. Oh, so you were the one that had the heart attack. I thought you were saying that you gave somebody else a heart attack. Okay, I'm on the same page now. I got you. Oh no, I didn't give. I received. Disclaimer, I'm a power switch. You're a power switch for heart attacks. Without context, that would raise so many questions. My roommate also did me a freaking solid. He ran to the grocery store to go pick up a few things tonight, and he brought me ginger snaps. So you're totally gonna hear me opening a bag of ginger snaps, and I'm about to eat me a cookie and be the happiest little kitty on this side of Aos. Boop. Love the boop. Mm. That tea and that cookie go so well together. Really brings out the ginger. Oh my gosh. Half hour ago, God. Oh God, me too, Phoenix. Not just ginger, but like a garlic as well. There's never enough garlic ever. Although I did have an accident one time in our previous apartment where I was cooking like a full course meal for like 6 people, and I was making mashed potatoes. Nothing special, just like mashed potato flakes that you pour out of the box and mix hot water and just stir it all around. But I was like adding some garnish and spices and seasonings to it to actually give it flavor, so it wasn't just plain mashed potatoes. And I took some minced garlic, or yeah, minced garlic that we had in the refrigerator, one of those little jars that you can buy at the grocery store, and I went to go scoop like just like half a teaspoon or tablespoon of it and mix it into all the mashed potatoes. And I swear, the moment I tipped the jar so I could like drag out the garlic, the whole thing just plopped out into the mashed potatoes. And I think everybody had enough garlic to fend off Dracula for the next 20 years. I did. I did. My ancestors didn't even have the opportunity to grab my hand and say, "That's enough, honey." It just fell. And I definitely definitely pulled um my ex mother-in-law a move that she would always do whenever she cooked and messed something up. She said, "Just put a little salt or pepper on it. It's fine. It's fine. It just needs a little salt or pepper." That's a little pepper to cover up the mess I made. Jesus. Olivia throws a liquid ass bottle at Tramlock Zek's face and it shatters. Let's see the chaos. What is a liquid ass bottle? That stink bomb? I have questions that need to be answered. What? Oh no. I have very rarely, in my short lifetime, asked questions that I did not want the answer to. I can maybe count on one hand how many times I did ask a question that I regretted getting the answer for, and usually had to do with my parents, so I'm definitely not going to bring up that terrifying traumatic experience. Like, me and my family, whenever we get to talking, we have a very like no holds policy when it comes to just talking about anything and everything, but there are some lines that we don't necessarily cross, but we do push the limits until one of us is like, "Okay, that's enough. We can stop. It's too much. I don't need to know that." Sounds like my mother. Yeah. Has a no low blows policy. So is that just like really solid underhanded comments that is just not allowed? She's crazier than I am. I wouldn't classify my mother as crazy, but she is definitely a very very heart-oriented, compassionate and affectionate person. Um Especially when it comes to her and her children. Like she doesn't even describe me so much as her son as her best friend because she had me at such a young age. And she just always felt like there should be this just honest, heartfelt, open communication between her and her family members. So definitely took that from my mother to the far polar end of the spectrum where sometimes she communicates too much or says the same thing in 50 different ways. Pretty much, but no direct personal attacks. That's fair. That's actually a really good policy. I like that. But want to talk shit about something they did? Fair game. Oh, that's nice. Oh no. Oh no. If this song's gonna go on like this for another minute and a half, we're skip. Some of these ain't half bad. This is the same playlist that we tried. I think it was last week, and like the first 10 songs were just need to be struck out. Oh god, those ginger snaps are so good. But I feel like I'm gonna eat too many and my blood sugar's gonna skyrocket. I'm taking some insulin. See if I can get ahead of the curve here. Oops, what did I not do? Oh, I didn't push a button. There we go. The twinkling piano could easily be choreographed into something like some spoopy sensual come hither and drink the Kool-Aid dance. I'm sorry, what? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about now. I got you. I got you. See, when you said piano, I thought you were talking about the one that used to be upstairs in the company house. I'm like, what? I'm pretty, okay? I'm spoopy and pretty. So pretty. Oh, I was actually gonna look up some like cult sermons that I could possibly do while standing up here. When does the daily reset hit? I think it's not until like 4 o'clock in the morning for my time. Yeah, you've got several hours left to go before you have to worry about reset. You good. This song had potential, and then it just flopped. had your chance. God, my screens are so bright. No, this is not a sermon. This is like a manifesto. I'm trying to find something. And this song is very demonic. Oh god. Freddy Krueger. Oh, I know. Definitely not any of these new remakes or anything they done. Original Freddy Krueger, like, saw that as a kid, and it's like, well, yep, I'm scarred for life. This is true, but I don't know. There's just something talking about cult classics. There's just something about the original Freddy Krueger movie that just supersedes all the others. Speaking of cult classics, while not in the season, The Room is pretty good. I don't think I've seen The Room. I remember the previews though, because The Room was basically on the concept of escape rooms, like the ones that we have available nowadays that you can go to. But this one was actually more like a murder box. Heck, hi! God, it feels like it's been forever since I've spoken to you. Shout out to my friend Hekvetica, who's always playing amazing games with a very chill and serene just atmosphere. Like if you ever want to be in a very zen, happy mood, watch Heck. No doubt. That's for Drake. Drake, drink up. Speaking of which, Heck, I only speak the truth. Every time I've been in your channel, it has just been so serene and so just relaxing. I love when I have time to watch your stream. I really do. Ooh, I better not copy and paste the rest of this. This could be very controversial. Maybe I can edit what it says. Make it, like, Eorzean relevant. Chugs the rest of his Pepsi. He does have the voice of an angel. Okay, so like the excerpt that I pulled from I don't even remember who said that, who wrote this. Stronghold Shaken Part 1, The Witness of the Watchtower is what it's called. But it literally starts out by saying, we're beginning a series tonight entitled Strongholds of Satan. And tonight, the particular cult for our contemplation is the cult of the Jehovah Witnesses. We're not gonna open that can of beans. Sorry. I'm replacing all the words with Eorzean terms. Okay, here we go. I've edited everything, so it's not so bad anymore. Drake, you have the typing of an angel. I don't know if I would use the word angel, but it's definitely something special. Alright, I just posted a book in chat. So we took out all the mentions of like Satan and Jehovah's Witness and kind of replaced it with Hydaelyn and the Ascians. Let me do a persistent emote. That way I'm not just standing there looking pretty. Don't know how to thank you for typing like an angel. Old style game called Crawl. I don't know of that game. Are we talking about like an old arcade game, or is this like original NES, or am I going way too far back? But yeah, definitely 8-bit music, 100%. It's a recent game in an old arcade style. 1 to 4 players. You all explore a dungeon where 3 players are dead. Oh god. Spawning creatures of their chosen god, trying to kill the living and steal the body for their own. To escape said dungeon alive. Oh, Jesus. All our friends are here. Just giving everybody a dote. This is equal dote opportunity right here. Actually, I may have heard of Crawl before. Let me see if I can look that up here real quick. Crawl video game. Yeah, I may have actually seen this in a stream or video or something before. Some of the images do look familiar. These dungeons are very D&D-ish. Oh my god! Why did that boss look like Gabe Newell? That was not okay. You have a living and spectral level. One levels for how often you kill the other minions, and the spectral levels when another player gains a level. Oh god, that seems complicated. I'm again trying to replace all these words with Asian and Hydaelyn. Akuramaho continues to read another paragraph from the mysterious book he holds in his hand. Honestly, if I could have games with people on PS4 and PC, if I ever get it on PC, I'd love to have a game with you. Yeah, that would be fun, and it doesn't seem like it's a really demanding game on the system. Which, speaking of system and my PC and the Frankenstein that it is, me and my roommate actually kind of talked about it, and I've changed my donation goal from working on the Stream Deck for the soundboard because that's going to be more of a luxury than it is a necessity to actually upgrading the computer itself. So I have changed and renewed our donation bar up here. So instead of going for the Stream Deck, we're now going for the poor man's PC upgrade. We can try to replace the motherboard and the graphics card at the very least. Maybe finally go from air cooling to water cooling because this thing gets really hot underneath my desk. After a few months finally getting around to getting the means to replace it. Yeah, it's we've kind of gotten to the point where we can't really like junkyard the rest of the computer because we've already like picked the cream of the crop out of everything that was available. So going through like the junk heap and just taking whatever people are getting rid of or are donating for whatever purpose my roommate uses them for. Um it's not going to be an upgrade. If anything, it may be a downgrade for my computer. So we finally gotten to the point where we are now looking to purchase new components, like fresh from the store. That happened shortly after I came by into the circle, didn't it? Are we talking about when my computer blew up? Like literally fried itself? Oh no. Oh no. I messed up. But yes, yes it did. Not too long after you kind of came into the crowd and finally got integrated, my power supply just bit the bullet and exploded. I knew my blood sugar was going to do that because of these ginger snaps. I'm sorry for that loud beeping. Now I have to wait for my insulin to catch up. Where the plexiglass just exploded. Okay, yeah, my computer didn't go that level. It just more so kind of burned itself out. I can't spell. Yeah. So me and my roommate had to switch out the power supply, which we were able to do after switching it out with like two or three different kinds to see which one was compatible and actually worked correctly. Thank God we didn't fry the motherboard in the process. And then I think it was shortly after that, it was when I was working on the chair replacement. To be honest, this voice ain't doing it for me in the growl department. Oh, the voice with the song. Yeah, these songs are really hit or miss. Some of them are kind of decent, some of them are great. And then of course there's the ones that is like, what is this? Wait for it. I was expecting this to be more upbeat. This is actually kind of a really slow jam. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's getting better. We may have to go back to our old reliable dance channel. With the ringing of the church bell, I'm just picturing everybody in a really small western town just coming out of their homes and their buildings, all slowly congregating to the church. This song's literally called Halloween shit. I like it more for the title than I do the actual song. You can actually kind of hear it in the song a little bit. Halloween shit, Halloween shit, pow, pow, Halloween shit, Halloween shit. Don't mind me. I'm just having a musical field day in my head right now. Ooh, that was very mixed flavor there. Oh, I finally the tea I had the other day when I Drake, you know what I was talking about when the earthy tea that I was talking about when I was trying a different flavor and a different brand. I finally figured out what the flavor was that I could not put my finger on, and it's and I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but it's sarsaparilla was the spice in it that I was tasting. It was sarsaparilla. And it was driving me crazy that I could not put my finger on it because it was like a spicy cinnamon but with that very earthy almost like soil taste to it. Yes. And again, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this now that I'm reading it, I'm trying to pronounce all the letters like sarsaparilla. Um but when I try to think of it in my head, it's just sarsaparilla. Yeah. I can't do it. My tongue's like, what are you doing? Confusion. Question mark. Sarsaparilla? Sounds funny, but okay. Sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. See, that's what I was thinking too. Like, whenever I thought about the spice or when I've heard it in the past, it's like sarsaparilla. But I see that R in there and it's like, is it silent? See, this is why I just need to go to Google and be like, hey, Google, please pronounce this for me. Sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. There you go. Google said it for me. Sarsaparilla. The R's there. Yeah, it's there. Sarsaparilla. So that first syllable actually has the S on the end of it. Sarsaparilla. Oh, yeah, you definitely have a disconnect symbol by your head. I'll make a quick shout out that you're coming back in. So I just shout out that you are having some connection issues and you'll be back momentarily. If it lets you log back in, which it should. It's just gotta log you out of the game first. This is actually a bop. I like this one. What song is this? Puppet. Wait a second. Who got offered CPR? Hang on. Who knows CPR? Oh lord. Okay, Claire. Yep, you popped out. So it should put you in the login queue now. I feel like a kid that learned a new trick or something just because I know how to pronounce sarsaparilla now and pronounce it correctly. I got this little giddy 5-year-old inside of me right now that's like, yay, I learned something new. I'm special sometimes. Ooh, oh, Olivia. I love that outfit. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my gosh, that is perfection. That metallic orange does wonders for that outfit. Amazing. That makes me happy. Oh, I thought Olivia threw money at me. It's like, yes, please toss all your coin to the cult leader. I almost said Witcher. I mean, we could, in some semblance of the word, kind of sort of say that we do have our own little cult. Um, just with our Discord server alone, we have well over 500 people that are either part or associated with Echo. And then just with the free company alone in game, we have well over 400 people. And toss the coin to your kitten. We're gonna make that a new song, okay? We need to remix it, kind of give it a chip tune upbeat sound and feel to it, and we're gonna do toss a coin to your kitten. I'm ready. Let's do it. We'll throw a verse in there about Oreos somewhere. Oh yes, definitely. Like not so much with the roleplay venues where venue owners tend to network and socialize with each other quite a bit. Because we do have a few different discords which are nothing but just venue owners. So that way we're able to keep in touch with each other. But FCs as well, they definitely among like their officers and the guild leaders, we have a few discords where we kind of all just connect with each other. Now technically, even though like Gideon is I guess you can say co-owner or like chief of staff at that point, it is and does belong to Deacon, who actually owns the free company for, oh crap, what they changed it to? It's not Potat anymore. Pause. How do you get the Discord server to have the icon of your FC? So depending on what level your Discord server is, you should be able to access the server settings. And it's one of the very first thing that pops up. It's the overview settings inside the Discord server. And the very first thing at the top of the page when it says server overview is like upload image for the icon. Oh yeah, it's very simple. I think you should have that by default, even with new servers, where you can edit and change the icon. So you don't have to boost it or do anything special. Just create it and go into the settings, the server settings, and it's the very first thing that's pops up on the screen is to change your icon. How do you get the FC icon? Okay, so I had to do kind of a very old school, cheesy way to get mine. I simply went to the lodestone, um, and like right clicked on the FC emblem and where it says, open image in a new tab. That way I was able to separate the image from everything else and I just screenshot it. From there I went to crap, what is it called when you edit photos? My mind just completely went blank. Photoshop. I went to Photoshop and just gave it a transparent background and kind of cleaned up the edges. My brain kept going photo editor, and it's like, that's not what it's called. Well, a little bit backwards. Like I right clicked on the image from the lodestone to open image in a new tab, so it was just the FC icon by itself. And then I took the snip tool from Windows 10 just to get a like perfect cropped screenshot of it, and from there I just did the rest in Photoshop. Which one day, what I would really love to do is actually commission an artist to kind of not necessarily completely redesign and start from scratch with our FC logo, but to give it just more of a flair instead of that pixelated, almost 8-bit look from the crest creator that you can do in game. I actually want somebody to give it a little bit of flair and an artistic touch and kind of dress it up a little bit, and then we can use that as our like official guild symbol or emblem or whatever you want to call it. Crest. It will be our guild crest. Can't seem to get that background behind the bat in my FC logo. Are you talking about in game? When you're going into the FC logo editor? Because there are several options and different crest designs that are not available until you've ranked up a certain amount in FC. Alright, time for Naka to read another excerpt from his book. Sent you a link showing what it shows. Okay, I'll take a look here. Ooh, let me make sure I edited all of that. Okay, good. I feel like I rushed over it and I wasn't sure if I replaced all the necessary words to make sure that was not something it shouldn't have been. Okay, so with the FC logo that you're trying to get, are you going to the Lodestone? Like the actual website Lodestone to pull up your free company information and trying to load the image there. Right. And when you try to open up the logo in a new tab, it's only giving you the bat. Let me see if I can pull it up on my end and see if this is a local issue or an actual website issue. Drake, remind me, what's your home world again? Leviathan. Ooh, the game did not like that. Try that again. Search. The server is experiencing unusually heavy traffic. Please try again later. That makes me wonder if that's the issue with you trying to get your logo right now, is because the server is so swamped. Okay, I was finally able to get you pulled up here, so let me pull up your free company. Alright, we want to open image in new tab. Oh, it's doing that as a transparent background. Well, how do we fix that? Yeah, that's a website thing, Drake. So what I would recommend doing then is just instead of trying to open it in a new tab to separate it from everything else on the website, just take a screenshot of the logo as it is on the company information page and just crop it as needed. I mean, it doesn't have to be large for just a tiny little Discord server icon anyways, so you can probably just use it as is so long as you crop the image. All right, this music is so hit and miss. Yeah, it's treating everything behind the bat as a transparent background, and I don't know why. What kind of HTML coding they've got to cause that, God only knows. All right, I'm gonna throw a poll up. Because again, this music is extremely hit or miss here. Do we want to stick with the Halloween station and just keep going through the playlist, or do we want to move on to the good old faithful dance music station, where we usually get our dance music from? I put it up for 2 minutes, so go ahead and put in a vote. We'll figure out what we want to do here. Too heavy on the yeah, for real. Definitely feel that. We're only halfway through the list too. Like we're dead in the middle right now. And I honestly feel like it's been 50-50. Some are good, some are not so good. It's a complete just shot in the barrel. Ooh, yeah, that's very, like you said, heavy. Yeah, all votes change the dance music. I figured that's the way it was gonna go. Alright, how do I get back to stations? Do I click the home button? Yeah, there we go. I got it. Flavor Bubbles. I already like the name of this song. God, that tea is so good. Positive energy, and it's got like this very orangey citrus flavor to it, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Speaking of bubbles, Naka, you already know. Do I? Do I? I'm not sure. Oh, bubble chocolate. Okay, I got you. I got you. I'm on the same page now. I'm like, why are we talking about bubbles? I'm not a. Not that I'm opposed to bubble tea, but I rarely ever drink it. If I had the money to go 30 minutes down the road just to the local Starbucks to get bubble tea every day, it would be a thing. But I is one broke, two don't want to put all that strain on my car traveling back and forth to the city in here, and three, I probably need to invest that money into something more useful and productive instead of putting stock in Starbucks. Yes, Drake, for the 30th hour Echo Chamber Halloween party, we are going to be. Again, my mind just totally went blank. I'm trying to pull up Discord here. I'm not even sure if I planned that far ahead. Because next week, we're actually going to be starting talking about this tonight and tomorrow. But next weekend, we are going to have a auction um, for the Echo Chamber. Not sure if we're going to do a free for all like we did last month with our auction, where whether it be a item, service, personal time, a date auction, we just said whatever you want to sell, throw yourself on stage, just give us a description of what it is that you're offering, and we'll take the bids. We may do that again, we may not. We don't know yet. But we're definitely going to keep it going with the Halloween theme. So, of course, everything's going to be decorated with the pumpkins and the skeletons, and there's probably going to be a lot more orange going around, that's for sure. We'll see if we can kind of keep the auction going up with that theme as well. For Halloween itself, I actually don't think we have decided in particular what we're going to do that day. We have not planned that far ahead. And my next weekend is going to be crazy, crazy busy. I've got two doctor's appointments. Um, our house is going to be bombed for fleas and preventative measures for especially like mosquitoes and bugs that come in from outside. So I won't be able to be here Saturday morning. I will be out of town Friday night. So I basically got to make sure that by Friday morning everything is already ready to go because I won't be home again until Saturday evening before we open the club. I know that we did talk about the Hold Your Fantasia event where you try to, in the best way possible with your character, dress up as another race, such as like a Hrothgar trying to be a Viera, for example. Get those bunny ears from the gold saucer, eh? Still alive. Oh, I've definitely been behind that counter when there's like 20 people at the bar. All you can do is just take it one at a time and get to them as quickly as you can. I feel like that was my entire teenage existence was just being one out of two people in a store. I worked for Cold Stone. That was my first job ever. And that's all it would be. It would be like me and one other person, and then you would get that after lunch rush where everybody just ate like lunch down the road, and now they're coming to Cold Stone to get ice cream for dessert, and there's 50 people lined up around the building, and only two people in the store to help service them. Yeah, I do like that idea, Drake. For the Halloween day, since our auction is going to be next weekend, we may actually incorporate that idea of like hold your Fantasia, but still open it up to just whatever costume or masquerade type thing you want to do for Halloween itself, since that is literally Halloween's Eve. So that way we're not just limited to one particular theme, but just kind of opening it to the creativity of whatever somebody can come up with. Whether it be, a monster, a cosplay of a character, dressing up as a different race. Maybe have kind of a small contest competition going on where, we get some honorable mentions and kind of figure out who we like best and get them a prize. Could it just be prize money? I work restaurants, so I know the feeling all too well for lunch rushes. Yes, yes. I was doing the job of an assistant manager, but technically my job description was more like a regional training supervisor. Like I would be bounced around to different McDonald's and would do orientation and teaching and training for all new employees in our tri-county area for my franchise. So I wasn't like tied to one store in particular, and I was bouncing back and forth from all these different stores and doing all the training and supervision and orientation for all these crew. But I was only getting paid the hourly rate of a shift manager. I don't know. It actually was probably better that way. I was making more money by doing it hourly than what I would have salary. It's a spar. Spars here. Are we still doing flavor bubbles? We're still doing flavor bubbles. This song is almost 9 minutes long. Holy cow. I have so many tabs open. OMG. Some of these tabs are projects I still have not yet finished. One day, I will get them all done. Oh no, my party finder. Whoop, whoop, not what I meant to do. I want to push the X. Go away. Ah, Suave, Artoria. I love the just cherry red you've got going on with your outfits. It brings me so much happiness. It's like a vampire blood red. Just yes. All the yes. Love it. Starting to get a little warm in here. I need to start when the temperature starts rising in my room. I'd be like, for $1, I'll take my coat off. No, we're not going that route. This is Twitch, not Lonely Pans. Now, when we finally do get to the level and degree to where I can spend more time streaming and doing different content instead of just club nights, and I actually got to do Near Replicate recently. That was a refreshing change of pace. Um, Lonely Pants win? Yeah, no. I actually have an agreement with my boyfriend that I'm not gonna be doing any like ASEAN or it is ASEAN, right? I think that's the website, or Lonely Pans. So that's not gonna happen. I kind of forgot where I was going with that before I said that we're not doing Lonely Pans. Oh, content. That's right. I want to do like a night where we have some type of drinking game, or a game of that nature, because I do also have a vape pen, um, that does have the like actually high inducing CBD and THC in it. Words are hard. So, like, for every time something pops up, we take a draw off of it, or I take a, sip or drink of my wine, because I'm a wino. I'm not like hard liquor. I prefer wine. And plus, I'm a super lightweight. The moment I drink alcohol, it just skips everything else in between and goes straight to my head. My dreams are destroyed. No, sorry. Not going that route. Look, Drake did a freaking boomerang. Like, wait, what? Lonely Pants? What? We're doing this? No, 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 no. I was about to say, if times get really, really rough in the future for whatever reason, it's like, hey, that may be a reconsideration. Um, but that may actually be kind of a more of like a what am I trying to say here? like a joint account probably between me and my boyfriend rather than just us doing it individually. I don't know. That would be a conversation that me and him would have together and just kind of see what we would want to do from there. But backpedaling on that a little bit, we are not in that situation, and it doesn't look like we're going to be in that situation. Things are slowly but progressively getting better. Couple stuff is big. I imagine it would be. Um, and like full disclosure, my boyfriend had once upon a blue moon ages ago worked in the industry for it wasn't Lonely Pans. It was like a different production entirely. Um, but he actually worked in it for a little while, and I was impressed by it. I think at first he was a little nervous to tell me about it because some people are prudes and they look at that like, oh my gosh, you're a nasty person. You did pornography or whatever. No, I actually thought it was quite interesting and actually rather exciting. Was the best time of my life. Yeah. And I hate it where, and it's not to like diminish this or say that it doesn't happen, but almost the same thing with like any fandom where there's one little subsection that really is kind of very dark and almost malicious, where that gets all the attention. That's the stuff that ends up on the news and gets passed around on media, and where the stereotypes start to come from and rumors about certain you know job lines or groups of people or whatnot. And I hate that, just as much as it happens to like furries, for example, it also happens with anybody that works in the adult and sex industry as well. Drake, literally, yes. You took the words straight out of my mouth because that was my line of thought when I was doing the comparison there. Because you only hear about the good parties when you're invited to them. Yes, and it's kind of a shame that they have to be so like low key and under the table type thing. I mean, I get it, skirting like certain limitations and legal whatever it may be. But and that's another thing that other well-developed countries will kind of look at the USA and kind of be like, "Why are y'all so like taboo when it comes to just sex in general?" And that is actually a really good question. Like, our sex education is absolutely horrible in this country, even though it's like slightly and marginally improved over time. Um, but it is very, very, very poor, to the point where parents are just terrified of death of having the birds and the bees conversation with their kids, when it really honestly should just be just as much as a casual conversation as anything else you would talk about. Yeah, you're right. It has, especially with how much Christianity has influenced the country and tried to make anything in the sexual category so just blasphemous. It's ridiculous and short-sighted. What I personally feel, especially that needs to happen in that kind of term and that concept, is the expectations and the limitations that society as a whole tries to put on people just needs to stop. Everybody's going to have their own preferences. Everybody's going to have their own like cup of tea when it comes to intimacy and figuring out what they want and what they want to try and what they do or do not like. But you do have to make them feel comfortable to at least explore that fact. There's people that go on decades decades without ever exploring their intimate side whatsoever, just simply because of religious ordinances or expectations or whatever it may be. And just from a human developmental point of view, that is so devastating. Somebody in a free company chat says, "So is anything going on?" Like this was completely factual. Naka giving sex education classes on stream. Tune in. This is where I post my link. Boom. How to increase viewer counts instantaneously. Mod out. Are you done for the night? Aw, poor Scorcha. They're gonna miss out. They can't tune into the stream. Heck no, joking. Okay. I was like, compared to your usual hours and time, an hour and a half is kind of very short for you. Dallas sent me his and role players stream months ago, and that led me here eventually, and here we are. It's all about connections and who you know, and who knows who down the line. And again, as I'm trying to work on delegating other responsibilities and activities to other people so I can focus my time and efforts on other projects and developmental of my stream and my branding here, I do need to get back into the habit of watching other streamers. Not just to kind of stay up to date with what's going on and what everybody's getting into and talking about, especially with the release of New World that recently came out. Um, but also just to network with them as well. Networking with other streamers is honestly the best way to find other demographics to share your brand with. Speaking of one of them and boomeranging back into the subject, consent is hot. Yes, consent is just everything. Top priority at the very, very tip top of the list. Like, it's if it was a spreadsheet, it would be the very first thing at the top of the spreadsheet with a bold line underneath it and then everything else listed below. I love your body wearing nothing but my gold chain. Okay. I'm not mad at this song, but it does kind of raise a couple of questions. No matter what, even if you're doing consent based role playing in places, everything needs consent. Agreed, agreed, agreed. Gold star times 5, 150% agreed. Like regardless of the scenario and what's going on, there needs to be a clear, concise understanding between what is allowed, what is not, where the line is to be drawn, um, and just making sure that both parties are comfortable moving forward in whatever it may be that they are doing. I thought you said Pepsi at first, not Pepsi. I definitely read that as Pepsi. Hey, we got a follow. Thank you, Canon is. That alert notification actually scared me a little bit, but I just turned it into a excited emotion to kind of hide the fact that it scared me. There's maybe like 2 frames of my facial expression being scared instead of happily surprised. But yeah, talking about networking again, I do want to definitely try to hit 500 as far as followers go before the end of the year. So I do, as far as my recent like trend as of late, I do need to kind of pick up the pace and start my networking again. But if I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute, let me tell you, it is so hard to work both my day job and then be my own like a producer and editor and broadcaster and just everything else in between. Then when you add in my chronic conditions, that requires quite a significant amount of time and effort to take care of too. I'm just like, what is sleep? I will get there though. And once I get a good hang of like actual video editing and video producing, I may finally be able to get around to posting a YouTube video. I've already started taking some clips and pictures of some stuff I want to do for my first vlog as the gay T1D, which is the gay type 1 diabetic. Just talking about some of the daily struggles and things I go through as a homosexual type 1 diabetic. Because they do kind of interplay and affect each other, that's for sure. I swear, I see you playing games when I go to bed, and when I wake up, you're still playing games. Honestly, Discord can actually be a little misleading because I will leave the game running and just literally just get up and step away from the computer without actually logging out or doing anything. So Discord still thinks I'm playing a game. I just get to a point where I'm just so tired that I can't anymore. I can't even. So I just get up, push the microphone away, and go to bed. I didn't lie. Discord lies. I'm gonna end up drinking all this tea before we even get finished with the event tonight. Hey, my speaking of type 1 diabetes, my blood sugar finally came down. I'm at 155. When it was beeping earlier, it was 211. Which, for anybody that knows anything about blood glucose, yes, 211 is a little high for the normal person, but 211 is actually not, for me, not that bad. But I do get an alert every time it goes over 200, so I can go ahead and start getting it back down. You will be first for the lilies. I am really interested to see how the lilies are going to be changed. I don't yell at me. I have not gone through the summaries, the articles, or the videos for the media tour yet. It is on my list of things to do. I want to go through all the tooltips and the new combos and how the skills and everything interacts with each other with the new and old classes, especially with everything that you get going from 80 to 90. But I just have not had the chance to do it yet. I was actually going to look at some of them today, but we had a technician for our internet service come by, and they had to run a temporary line all the way from the curb to our house because they finally found out that the line that connects us to the main infrastructure, to the internet service around this area, is actually still part of the old company that they bought out several years ago, and Lord only knows how much attenuation and deterioration that line has gone through as they never changed it. So here's to hoping that we don't have any more internet connectivity problems. And by the time that they can install a main line and actually, bury it and put it underground, we won't have anything else to worry about. Drink the tea. I'm definitely going to be buying more of this flavor for sure. I don't have the box with me, but it is Yogi brand, Yogi, and it's the positive energy blend. It's got a very citrusy, kind of almost like tangerine or orange taste to it, almost like the oil, the citrus oil you get out of an orange peel. That's what this tastes very much reminds me of. Scorcha running around as a ghost. Ooh, I like this. This is a bop. So you've been playing a Dungeon Dex, a table type or tabletop playing card game that started off as a Final Fantasy based game. Interesting. I've been playing with a few locals earlier today and we got our butts kicked so hard that we all just froze, literally, due to hard hitting ice breath attack. Oh gosh. It's kind of funny you mentioned that. I was working on wrong button. I was working on my ice gauntlet today in New World. Or was it yesterday? No, it was today. My sense of time is out the window. Um, and working on all my like chill and frozen abilities. So it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I wish I could stream New World, but my computer chokes so hard on it. We were all level 6, which is pretty decently strong, and would have leveled up from that battle. Oh no. Until he just said, I'm gonna be a frost dragon and I'm gonna do frost breath and you're all gonna die from the damage every time that I apply. Just like that dragon from the ending boss from the burn. When it does that frost breath attack, it's like super heavy hitting. I wonder, can I do an eye cam on my baby bat? I totally can. Yes. And the boss of that dungeon was undead, so you being the priest, white mage, was so excited to get there. Was it one of those where when you cast heal on the undead, it actually does damage instead of actually healing them? All right, that I can. It's kind of not worth it. When you say rain shower, that kind of reminds me, excuse me, playing my elementalist in Guild Wars 2 when I used a staff as the weapon. The like massive circle AoE that you can put on the grain, which was just like a drizzle shower type thing, but it was a healing spell. So anybody that was standing in that rain would receive kind of a regen healing over time. So that very much reminds me of that same ability. Not to mention there was like combo field bonuses that you could do too. So if somebody did like an arcane explosion inside the rainwater circle, it would do like a massive AoE heal. By card rank. When you say card rank, is this? Oh, because it's a card game. Okay, never mind. You said card, and I'm like, is this an astrologian? These ginger snaps are dangerous. I will sit here and eat this entire bag and not even think twice about it. I'm gonna hate myself at like 4 o'clock in the morning, but worth it. And Diamond has the 4 points. That's an interesting way to interpret those. Oh, I just realized I do not have my ticker going. There it goes. I was about to say, and the ticker is broken. Ooh, that ginger and that citrus, when they hit each other, just increases the spice by like tenfold. All enemy actions and health, as well as item money drops, every player action, and everyone's initiative is all determined by the simple playing cards you buy from the store. Now, when you say buy from the store, are you talking about like literally physically buying like a card pack from a convenience store or wherever they sell card games? Or are you talking about like an in-game capability where you're able to buy it from the store in-game, kind of like when you're playing League of Legends and you're at the spawn point, you can go into the store to buy upgrades for your character? Is that the kind of store that you're referring to? Oh, this is a new person. Hello. Even though he's a paladin, he looks more like a samurai. I love the red though. Wait. What was that FC name? Hang on. View company profile. Socially unacceptable. Former WoW guild creating a new home, learning and growing together. Hey, that's actually pretty cool. Especially since they're here on Famfrit. That's neat. We have so many WoW refugees nowadays. Real life store, the very same playing cards you buy for like solitaire and stuff. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if jokers don't have a purpose or function, that would make sense. No wilds. Let's see. For initiative, it's kind of interesting. The higher the card, the sooner your turn comes. That makes sense? If you're only able to draw one card or you have negative speed, ouch, in which case you draw, for example, 3 cards and take the lowest value, and you only have an ace, you don't get a turn that round at all. So literally, you are at the mercy of the cards. You better believe in the heart of the cards. Y'all couldn't see because that was my face was behind the cup, but I kind of was making the blah, 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 blah face. So this card game sounds really interesting, but also really complicated. Which is kind of funny because I did read a single solitary article today. It was on my phone because I got a notification for it. But there was a article that was written about Sage and how it's supposed to play with somebody who was actually at the media tour giving it a trial run. And their description and breakdown of how Sage plays and what it does um, said that it's basically still just the same type of healing and mitigation that white mages and scholar have available, but your management of of your heals, as far as like how you actually apply them and distribute them, is very different. Kind of like how the astrologian differs from scholar and white mage, but they kind of mixed it in with dancer, where how dancer has closed partition where you assign a specific person that gets your passive abilities. It's the same thing for the sage. You assign a person that receives your passive healing that you do in conjunction with other skills that you can also apply, that works with your duty gauge or job gauge rather. Now, if you have a speed of 2 and draw an ace 5, you still have a turn, but you'd have to discard both the ace and 5. The ace rule with initiative only applies to a single card initiative. Oh my god, Drake. I would lose myself. I would have to like watch maybe 5 rounds of this game before it's like, oh, I finally get it. It sounds very confusing. Like I can understand the logic behind it, but just keeping up with everything that's going on, just oh buddy. I'm still having difficulty like just learning the pure allowances and mathematics that's involved in Pathfinder. Uh so I'm still trying to, kind of learn my way around a character sheet, how certain feats and features and whatever is applied to my character every time I level up, making sure that I've done the right number of skill upgrades and getting my um like will saves and everything else in between up to the right proficiency. Like it's confusing. It's a lot to learn, but I am really enjoying it. It's not hard once you see it played. Yeah, just like mechanics in Final Fantasy. You sit there and try to explain it, whether it be in text or voice, of everything that goes on in a fight. And most of the time, you can almost just see the words going in one ear and out the other for the person that you're describing it to. But once they actually like slam their face into it and see it happening in action, it's like, oh, it all makes sense now. You draw a single card, and depending on the card rank, that's how many different stats you get to point. You get to put a point into. Oh, see, I don't like that. It is completely luck based on your optimization. I would so much rather there just be a static point gain depending on which level you're leveling up to. just like how I recently found out in New World, if if and when you hit level 40, instead of the 3 attribute points that you can either put in like strength, dexterity, intelligence, focus, or constitution, you get 4. So every level 40 and above, you get 4 attribute points instead. So I kind of like a system like that where you know you're going to be getting a certain number of stats and points that you can distribute as you wish, but leaving it up to the luck of the cards, ugh, it internally hurts me somewhere in my soul. Excuse me. Oh god, those bunnies clip out of that hood so terribly bad. There's a jester roll in this game too. You want pure random? That's as pure can be. Every single last aspect of the jester is randomized. See, no, I can't do that. Their equipment, their stats, their abilities. Oh god. So like if you're super lucky, you could be this just completely overpowered character, I'm assuming. Just at the will of the draw, since it's not a dice roll. And that's like another thing that like I love the way that Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons play. And I'm trying to get past the point of looking at it from a technical perspective, just trying to learn the rules and how the numbers are processed and everything else in between to actually go beyond that and start role playing my character. Because I'm still in such the mindset that I'm still learning how to play the game that I'm not actually role playing the situations and the battles and my character. Like, I want to go back and look at my background, maybe refine it, actually do a little bit of character development and character research, so that way when we do play Pathfinder, kind of like how my boyfriend does with his character, I can actually role play the character where I can speak as my character and commit to actions as my character instead of saying, I pull out a alchemist fire and throw it at target A. In the game where we all died, we had a jester, and that jester had the summon high list. He had white unicorn, red dragon, and a heckin' T Rex summon. That's a lot of summons. That T Rex had 20 cards worth of HP. And his basic attack deals around 35 points of damage. Now, I don't know like what the base value or the baseline is supposed to be for these numbers, but it sounds like that's a lot. I'm almost already at a T. Ah, Mafia, I love that golden mask so much. Actually, which cow is that in particular that has the built-in mask with it? The altered linen cow. Oh wait, no, it does not have the built-in mask. So this actually shows your headpiece with it? Wait, those are glasses. I'm confused. Or does it just not work on the Hrothgar? Oh, well, that's disappointing. Because I really like the fact that you can see your mask while wearing that. But apparently it doesn't work with a Hrothgar. So... Okay, hang on. Let's try this. Let's go back to examine. Try on. Save outfit. Add the hat. Yeah, still nothing. Oh, that's infuriating. Should have did something like how Primrose has the one of the near hoods on. Yeah, the Yorha hood of aiming. Because you can totally do that as a Hrothgar. But we gotta take that off first. Remove outfit. There we go. See? Covers up the face. And it works. You can take it on and off. Ah! Makes me mad. Yeah, 20 cards of HP can be quite a bit. I would imagine so. Since it can be anywhere from ace, a 1, all the way up to 10, and face cards, also 10, per single card. So the T-Rex could very well have anywhere from 20 to 200 HP. Ooh, when summoned in that case. So random. And I would hate to leave everything to chance. Oh, that is cool. How did they get the little dice to show up? Okay, I need to find that on the character map. I love that. Which, speaking of dice, for anybody that still has not seen it in the Yale message or heard it from me personally, we are hiring at the Echoes Chamber. Although we do have a good handful full of people that are on the team and work with us, we still sometimes struggle on certain nights to make sure that we have all positions filled out. So we are looking for more people to come in to work with our team to make sure that we are fully staffed each and every night. And also to see if they can bring any ideas or their own social circles to the club and kind of help expand and give us a little bit more capability than what we currently have as is. Yeah, Drake is right. We almost didn't have enough people for tonight. We are kind of a little bit of a skeleton crew. We've only got 2 people on payroll that are actually working tonight, and then of course myself as management. But I don't take any profits from anything that we make. But as a lovely shout out to Phoenix, this is actually her first time at the bar and has been doing an amazing job to this point. Oh, that's awesome, Phoenix. I actually did not know that you had one of your geometric art things as your icon. That looks great. Also, I think when you disconnected earlier, it bumped off your status icon, so you may need to reset that. I almost got confused between Primrose and Priscilla. I thought they were the same person there for a second. Or the same name, at least. Naga drank the Kool-Aid! Oh, are you talking about bringing in Turkey for the Triple Triad games? Get those card battles a going? I don't know about y'all, but I'm kinda not feeling the song here. Not a bad beat, but it also felt like it was getting really repetitive and I wasn't on board with the vocals. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure what other like techniques we can use to kind of advertise and build interest for Triple Triad. Because it's not a very typical game that you would see in the like player based casinos. Or at least not that I've heard of, because I don't really go to the casinos too often myself. I like the concept of it, and I love that we can actually use it as a like a player to player game in Final Fantasy, of course. But to draw people in for the purpose of actually like betting money and hoping to win, I don't know. And I was definitely on the same wavelength as you, thinking it would be pretty popular considering that you don't see it very often in other places. I really would like to find a handful of other casino dealers that would be able to bring in different types of games and different just something different. I am so illiterate when it comes to like in-game casino whatever. Cuz I've never gone to a casino IRL or even hardly in-game. I don't know how the games work. I don't know what the actual like number crunching happens behind the scenes. Like I don't know any of that stuff. So I feel like I literally need to hire just like specifically a casino manager to like handle that sub department. I like this song. This would make a really good DDR song actually. Ah, Phoenix. I could talk about DDR for hours. It literally occupied such a huge chunk of my life. Like from the age of 16 to my late 20s. There's this little place, and I'm totally going to self promote or self promote, going to promote this little arcade that's located in this town. But there is a little like mini indoor putt place called Mini Putt, or is it Mini Putters? Oh my gosh, I done forgot the name. But I think it is called Mini Putters in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where they have a full-fledged arcade as well as the indoor putt putt. And they always had a very well high-end Dance Dance Revolution machine in their arcade. Like it was very well taken care of. So me and my, as I would call her, the DDR queen from high school, we would always take every other weekend to go up to Rocky Mount, and we would hit that machine for hours until pretty much right up to closing for the arcade. We participated in tournaments. We helped run tournaments. Not only that, but when we started doing the Carolina Games Summit in North Carolina, which I was one of the founding members of that, we actually opened up the entire dance competition sector for that convention. So we were the tournament directors for Dance Dance Revolution, and it was amazing. There was actually a couple of years where it was part of the main attraction to the convention, where we had the entire DDR Dance Dance Revolution set up in the amphitheater, where not only did the players have their systems on stage, so they got their screens, which are kind of set a little bit low, so that way the audience from the amphitheater can still watch them as they played on these carbon fiber metal pads that were donated to us. And then on the backdrop of the actual theater itself, we were projecting the image of them two like battling each other on Step Mania. So you could see the entire step chart just flowing on the massive theater screen while the two players were battling each other out right there on the stage. So awesome. That was definitely one of my fondest memories of being a tournament director for Dance Dance Revolution. All your DDR machines are trash now. See, that's what I it's like a love-hate relationship. Like there's so many different qualities of dance pads and different machines that you can get. Heck, you can even buy full-fledged arcade machines, but they require so much care and maintenance to make sure that they last, because you're literally stomping away on these dance pads and they take a beating so often that they just break down and they deteriorate. Oh, I remember when In the Groove was first introduced in that arcade. I was talking about mini putters and Rocky Mount. And I loved both machines, ITG and the Extreme was, I think it was the Extreme 2 mix that was on the original DDR machine they had in the arcade. But they had two separate ones, Extreme 2 and then ITG, and they were so fun. Oh god, so fun. And I'm going to toot my own horn on this one a little bit, but I was actually a doubles specialist. So I would hog the machine all to myself because, of course, it requires two dance pads. But it's when you actually play on both dance pads at the same time. So not only are you trying to hit the arrows like you would when you're usually playing Dance Dance Revolution, but you actually have to move back and forth between the two pads because you are required to hit all the arrows on the screen. So you have to literally travel back and forth. And I loved it so much because it felt like instead of standing still and stomping on cockroaches, as I used to call it, with the four buttons up, down, left, and right, you could actually flow and move from side to side and actually feel like you're dancing. I get so single track minded when I get excited and talk about stuff. It's like I wasn't even using my iCam, didn't even look at the time, see if I need to do another macro. Ooh, Yukari's here. If I could ever find me and afford, let me say that first and foremost, if I could afford and find a good, like, cobalt metal DDR pad. I've got Stepmania on my computer. I could 100% simply just get an adapter for the dance pad and connect it to my computer, and I could play DDR from home, like just so easily. So true, Phoenix. So true. And I mean, it wasn't only Dance Dance Revolution. Now, it's always going to have a special place in my heart because that's what introduced me to the entire dance category into video games. And I would tell my doctors all the time that, when they ask the question, "Are you getting exercise?" Yes, I am. And a few of them were actually really interested in the concept of exercise being in a video game because it feels like you're you're playing the video game, yes, but you're also getting exercise out of it. And I felt like that was such a win win situation because it was such a beneficial thing to your physical health to play a video game. And it was just perfect. But I did transition from like playing Dance Dance Revolution to Dance Central when the Kinect system started coming out with Xbox, where it was full body movement and it had to track your body. Definitely not the most accurate system in the world, but it was still pretty fun considering that it did use your entire body, where DDR was literally just hitting four buttons up, down, left, and right, regardless of what you were doing with your upper body. And then, of course, following Dance Central, which we did hold tournaments for at our convention, the Carolina Game Summit with Dance Central. It was quite popular, actually. But then Beat Saber in virtual reality literally puts you in the game. The concept is very easy. It is super simple and very intuitive. Like you're just swinging swords to cut blocks in the direction that the arrows say. And it's so much fun. And it's more of an upper body kind of arm workout than it is like a full body workout like you would get with Dance Central. But as long as you're not like getting wrapped up in a cord or anything, you can still move around and kind of do what you want as far as like dancing goes when you're swinging your swords trying to cut these blocks. And that's what I did when I played. Like it wasn't me just standing still waving my arms. I would actually like get some movement involved and actually dance as I was cutting these blocks. Oh, it was so much fun. Exactly, Phoenix. Like and that's, I talk about do what you enjoy and make it a living, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here with Twitch, to be honest. Like I'm so passionate about my video games and the benefits and just sense of accomplishment that they have brought to my life, and especially with like just the storylines and the emotional ups and downs that you have to go, especially with Final Fantasy 14. Dear God, let me not get on the revolt of the crystal army that Alphino was trying to do. Um, spoiler alert. But you learn so many life lessons from video games that sometimes you don't even get from real life experience. And I love it. Love that. You get so immersed and so involved. I haven't played Journey yet. I kind of want to because I didn't like so much what I was seeing when it was first being like previewed and sending out trailers and stuff. But after reading reviews and seeing what other people were saying about the game, that's actually what caught my interest. So after kind of hearing through the grapevine of how it played out and the reactions that people got from it, it's like, you know what? This actually sounds like a good game. I just haven't had the time to get it and play it. The visuals, the music, the feel of it. The music would definitely get me. And from what little snippets I've heard from like just the small videos, summaries, and previews I've seen, it is really good music. That would be one of those where if you just want a very zen, kind of easy on the mind video game, but still kind of kept you engaged, I feel like that would be the game. And very much kind of like Near Replicant, how it doesn't bog down my computer like New World does, for example. I should be able to actually stream that. God, that outfit I'm wearing is so bright. And why am I so close up to my shoulder? Camera, are you okay? Do you need help? I knew that was coming. As soon as I put down my drink, I knew it was. I feel like one of those backup singers during this part of the song. Just all standing in a row with their microphones in front of them, swaying back and forth. With you. Who needs a chair dance button? I do it anyways. And if you can't tell, my chair is becoming the chair where all my coats and shirts are just getting hung on it now. I was actually working on laundry today. That's one of the reasons why all of them are up there right now. You reminded me about the Mermaid Sisters from Caroline in September. I'm not familiar with that. What is that? I am not liking these camera angles. I'm sorry. It's like every single one of them wants to zoom in right on my shoulder for some reason. Carol and Tuesday. That is quite different from Caroline in September. Got that completely wrong. Sent you a link, Naka. Let's see. Wow, that is a definitely interesting preview window on that link. Yep, I feel like that's one of those I'm definitely gonna have to look at off stream. Oh, we have plenty. As always, the guild leader responsibilities never cease. Somebody was asking if we had some additional cracker roots. It's like, yep, we do. Tab 1, FC chest. You should have permissions to grab a few. Yep, I am almost out of tea. But I'm not out of cookies. What's really funny about that is I literally, and this is just how like sensitive my body is to anything that goes into it. I barely took a nibble off the thing. We're talking about like an eighth of the same size as this cookie. If you take this cookie and slice it up into 8 equal pieces, I had 1/8 of a cookie. And I'm feeling pretty happy. It's also really good for my nerve pain. It just, oh, eliminates all of it. All of it gone. Num 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 num. Taka what? Ooh, I like this one. I think I thumbs up it already. Nope, I did not. We're thumbs upping it now. Drake, you can't say my name and then not, like, say anything afterwards. Oh, that didn't work. I'm not gonna. Ha ha ha. Yes, I do. And I totally forgot I had it for a while too. It was like hidden in the back corner of the deep freezer. So when my roommate actually reminded me that it was there, it was like, yay, something that I can definitely take for my nerve pain that is not in the form of a pill. Totally doesn't have 500. Drake, why? You need to put that stuff on the market board. You could make probably a good bit of money off of that. You're not a dragon. You can't hoard it. Well, at least not in Final Fantasy, you're not. Say that to non-FF14 Drake. But it's in the realm of Final Fantasy that you have all this Gaily catnip. So, therefore, in the realm of Final Fantasy, you are not a lizard. You are a feline. Yeah, Phoenix. I'm at full potential with my feel good right now. I knew it was going to take a while for it to like absorb and get into my system, but it's there. It's definitely there. I hoard is what I do. Yeah, you definitely do. What is this song? I mean, it's got a good bop rhythm to it, but see, Drake, at that point, it's no longer a horde. You're talking about a harem. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm not feeling this. It just, yeah, no, it just continues to do the same thing. Yeah, I if there was some change and mix up or, waiting for that build up to a drop of some sorts, totally would have been down with it. But like after a whole 60 seconds of the same thing, just wasn't feeling it. See, this has got potential. It's made to be mixed. Yeah, I do like this so far. Oh, do I know that Makote is sitting on the couch? I do not. That's not who I thought it was. Okay, there it is. I was about to say, if we're getting another 60 seconds of the same thing, just on repeat, we's about to skip this one too. Oh, I love it, Dylan. I love it, love it, love it. Looks amazing. Yeah, did a backflip. That's what I'm talking about. Ellis Day drowning beats. I believe it. I believe it. One day, after I finally hit enough thumbs ups and thumbs downs on this station, it might finally get the algorithm right to understand the type of music that I'm preferably looking for. This would be a good song on like the chilled electric lo-fi channel that they have available. The words are hard. Available up here. My tongue kind of went numb there for a second. Did my blay face. Oh, did I do my shout? I did not. Euro Lounge. Okay. That's a descriptor I'm not familiar with. I could kind of see it though. You know, going to a club lounge in Amsterdam. I could see this kind of music being there. I'm picturing it. It fits. Yeah, Drake, no. That chat shows up in a completely different color, honey. Like seaside dinners and after hour clubs chill. How are those even related to each other? Cafe Del Mar. So is this a place that's like both of those at the same time? Interesting. Although I can kind of see that. I've seen some restaurants kind of start to fit that type of scenario. Um, there is a restaurant called the Twisted Fork. That's in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was one of the first restaurants that my boyfriend took me out to, and it was absolutely amazing. Like traditional Southern home style cooking. The fried okra was out of this world. It was so delicious. And the brisket, oh my god, was it good? But besides the fact, uh, they went through like a remodel and changed out management, and then we went for a second visit, and it was late in the evening. It was like 9 p.m. in the night, and like in the process of us ordering our food, sitting down and eating, they were literally moving furniture around and transitioning into like a dance floor club environment. Like they started setting up a DJ and they had lights and everything set up, and we were completely confused. We had no idea what was going on at the moment. But yeah, the food there was absolutely amazing. Everything is like smoked. They specialize in like smoked cooked meats. And between like the pork options, the chicken, I just specifically remember that brisket. It was like melt in your mouth good. Okay, now I need to eat. I know that's right. Between my ginger snaps and I even got like little peanut butter Lance crackers that I'm having difficulty getting out of the package. For the record, I just want to say it blows my mind at how little of that cookie I ate and how much of an effect it's providing. It's amazing. I blame Drake. He's been making coffee biscuits laced with Gaily catnip. Look, I'm sorry that I have a hard time putting on any type of weight, whether it be muscle weight or just body fat weight. I'm barely 150 pounds sopping wet, but it's not for the lack of eating, I assure you. Drake, that would be a good way to get your finger bitten off. Chomp, chomp, motherfucker! I would be too, Phoenix. Like, totally 100%. The one time I went, it was actually the last time I went to my doctor, or the time before last, I don't remember. Anyways, and the scale actually said a little over 150. Like, I did a little victory dance right there on the spot, and the nurse was kind of looking at me like I had lost my mind. And it was just one of those, like, you don't understand. I have been trying to get over 150 for years. Honestly, my doctors have always been like okay with my weight. It's like in that green area with that sliding scale and the chart that they always try to keep up with you for. Um, so when I was talking about wanting to be over 150, they were kind of looking at me weird. It's like, why do you want to gain weight? You're perfectly fine where you are. It's like, y'all don't understand. This is a preference thing. Yeah, see, and I'm just under 6 foot tall myself, and it's for as long as I've been alive, after like, the whole puberty and growing into a full adult, I've always been stuck between 140 and 150. Like, I was not able to get outside of that range. Honestly, I wouldn't mind, excuse me, being a little bit shorter myself. Truth be told, for where I grew up and with the community that I lived in as a child, I thought I was tall. Like, I thought 5'10", 5'11" was tall. Um, but when I finally, like, got away from living out in the country and moved to the city and started meeting, people from all over the world, because, of course, we got the university. It's a college town, right in the capital of North Carolina. So when I started networking with these people, I'm literally meeting people that are 6'4", 6'7", 6'9", like on the daily. And I'm just all of a sudden, when I felt like I was the tallest out of my group of friends and associates and acquaintances, I'm all of a sudden now the short stack. And it's like, wait, what? How? Am I still on Earth? felt like somebody did some genetic altering either where I lived or where I went to. Like nibbling on dough balls. Oh goodness. It is funny though, especially with how some kitchens kind of have that shelf space that's above the cabinets. We have a bunch of like small appliances that are up there in our kitchen. So I have to use like a step stool in order to get up there and reach them, and even stuff that's on top of the fridge. Sometimes I have to use a step stool to get up there so I can grab stuff off the top of the fridge. My roommate, who's like 6'4", 6'6", he just walks right up to it and grabs it as if it was eye level. And I'm just like, I hate you. I used to do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. I actually did that a lot in my first apartment that I lived in. Back when, I was young and nimble. If I was to do that nowadays, I would, with the nerve damage that I got, that's an accident waiting to happen. I would probably still do it just out of stubbornness because I wouldn't want anybody else to help me, but I gotta be careful. Just on Twitter, and I want this idea made. What idea would that be? Now that you mentioned Twitter, I want to go look at Twitter myself. As Twitter just crashed. Okay. Reload the page. D&D style Metroid Dread. Oh my goodness. I haven't even looked at the game, although I heard that there's a lot of like scary moments in there, and I'm thinking jump scares, although nobody used that word, but that's what they made it sound like, which makes me want to play the game because it's easy to scare me, but I kind of like the adrenaline rush of it. I'm that guy that would want to go through the haunted house at Halloween just so I could scream and have like the bejesus scared out of me, and then want to do it all over again. You could probably put together like a house rule one-off game based and revolving around Metroid. I'm pretty sure something like that could be like designed or made up. I actually never finished, but we were trying to do a one-off campaign with my old roommate from a couple of places or a couple of moves before, where I was a caster, but it was based on the astrologian from Final Fantasy. So the DM actually came up with a card system based on my dice rolls, which would determine the type of card I would draw during battle. It was really awesome. I'm not gonna lie, the Makote in the sweater is pretty cute. Almost in like a A Velma from Scooby Doo kind of way. Now, are y'all going to be doing like a full campaign, Drake, or is it going to be like a one-off? No, Drake, I am not going to blay on him. For a full campaign, nice. I still have yet to play an actual D&D game from start to finish. My only like full and ongoing experience with tabletop game is Pathfinder right now. Oh my god, Drake. You need help. Where's my soundboard?
He needs some milk.
Oh, that's a mood. That is completely a mood. I feel like even though we're more aware and a little bit lax on the restrictions here with the COVID-19 pandemic, it is still very prevalent and relevant right now, especially with the Delta strand and the mutations it's gone through. But because of the pandemic and the social distancing and the isolation and just the new social standards that's become daily practice because of the pandemic, I feel like everybody is craving that just not like the primal sexual kind, but just the intimate, affectionate, physical attention kind, where they just need a hug or somebody to cuddle up with, and nothing more. Just a little bit of physical attention to help get that dopamine running or serotonin, whichever hormone is released when you hug somebody. I like this song already. I'm sold. I'm sold. And this is why other countries say America is underdeveloped. That's all I'm gonna add to that. Oh, so true, Phoenix. If we did not live in a digital information age like we are right now, we would have literally gone crazy. Stir crazy. That's the word. We all would have gone stir crazy. Hey, I gained another Lalafell. The Popoto step dance is the perfect dance for this song. As much as I want to talk about it, I won't. So back to the cuddle talk. Would totally do a lot of cuddle work, paid or otherwise. It does kind of surprise me that there are people that can actually be paid just to cuddle for somebody, but there is a market for it. And my business mind Naka because me being so business oriented, and this is why I'm Rowena's competition. That's actually a really lucrative market, especially now that we are in a day and time where the pandemic has caused so much social isolation. Asoy! Oh, I fully agree with you. Like, no contest at all. And, kind of get in on the inner circle of, the dating apps for the homosexual. Um, but that's also why you see like a lot of profiles and ads which market themselves as a masseuse and offer massage services that you pay for, because that is actually the demographic that they're aiming towards, and that's a very good way to get the physical attention that you're craving and still earn a profit from doing that. Perspectiveness is wonderful. And I feel like, if you are offering a service like that, of course preferences are going to come into play because everybody has their own preferred cup of tea. And it is what it is. Cuddle puddle event. Just grab a bunch of Hrothgars and lay them play dead all across the floor, and it's just jump in anywhere. It's like jumping into a ball pit. You just land in a bunch of fur and softness everywhere. I'm not even talking about a Hroth pile. I mean just like spreading them out over the floor so it's almost like a Hrothgar carpeting type situation. So that way when somebody else jumps in, at least somewhere, somehow, they're gonna land on nothing but like fur. It's kind of like throwing a bunch of pillows or beanbag chairs, for example. Just throwing a bunch of beanbags on the floor and then just, without even looking, just diving in and just land on whatever you land on. Wonderful ideas brought to you by Naka with the 420. Hey! We're gonna hashtag this catnip thoughts or catnip ideas. Ooh, that song took off. I don't think I was ready for that bass boost. I've only been in two true cuddle puddles. No sexual contact. It's all just snuggles and comforting each other. There is a honest to God's simplistic power to just that plain and simple physical contact with no other strings attached. Like, we are just innately wired to have this, like, stress release and happy endorphins that are actually put into our system when we come into physical contact with another person. And the fact that it is something just so, like, hardwired into our system, I don't know, I find it fascinating. Drake is describing the perfect Netflix and chill scenario here. I love that outfit so much. I wish it had the option to where you could actually turn off the face mask. The song comes from an album called Mind Control. Okay. I'm down. You can hear that dripping sound just getting higher in pitch. And you're just wondering how much further is it going to go before that bucket finally overflows? It's still going. There it goes. I was like, the song is called Faith, and I have faith that it's going to drop somewhere. That is so true. Just like talking about how like physical attention is like hardwired into our system, that it actually causes a chemical change within our bodies when we do come in contact skin to skin with somebody else. It's the same thing with music, but instead of like the sense of touch and physical sensation, it is auditory, but still yet has some effect to our actual chemical makeup and consistency depending on the type of music that we're listening to. Oh, definitely. I've always said, especially as a gamer, the music in a game can either make it or break it. 100%. It's the music that really actually gets you very immersed into the situation. Like, if you don't have some type of, like, power pumping, thrill seeking music going when you're trying to get into, like, a final boss fight or something, you're not going to get sold on it. You're not going to get amped. You're not going to get that adrenaline rush or that thrill of what's getting ready to happen when the music shifts. Can't tell you how many times I played through a game and I like walk from one room or from one hallway to another, the music changes, and immediately, with no prompting, no signal, no sign, just a shift in the music, you know something's about to happen. Raindrops, for example, it starts off calm and happy, slowly going into slight fear, and then the full onset of dread, leading back into a calm. The whole song tells a story right there. A series of emotions, full circle. And the song was influenced by nothing more than raindrops on a window panel. You never know where inspiration is going to come from or where it's going to hit. And a source of inspiration for one person can be completely just ineffective to another. And the same vice versa, where that same person can find something else that inspires them and does nothing for anybody else. It's all from the individual perspective. Actually, no, character lighting does not help in this situation. Thought it would. I was wrong. Here we go. I got the screenshot I wanted. Haha! Your hair looked hot pink for a moment. Let's say I don't even have any hair showing. Unless it was like my beard or just the hood. Hello, bass boost. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot my camera settings go to idle cam as well. Script farming for fishing. Are we talking about white scripts or yellow scripts? Both. I was about to say because there is the like provision, or is it the supply that you can do, turning those in. Um I know there's the Rowena thing where you can farm the fish on the required Rowena's list. I was about to say the firmament, but I think that only gives you sky scripts. Or do they? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've focused on any of my gathering or crafting. I don't really remember off the top of my head. Ooh, role players went to a Ren fair and looked absolutely amazing in what she was wearing. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh, I know this song. It took me a second there. With the way that this song is so bouncy, I kind of picture in my head like playing carnival games when you go to like the state or county fair, for example, and they just have all the games where you like either shoot the little pea shooter to knock over a cup or something, or throw the balls to try to knock over like a duck. That's what I picture when I hear this. Ah, speaking of state fairs and county fairs and whatnot, I will never ever forget this one ride that was called Starship 3000. I don't know if any of y'all know what I'm talking about here, but it was basically a literal UFO looking type thing where when you go inside of the ride, there are like these um almost like vertical beds that are just lined all the way around the wall on the outer edges of the inside. And you pick a spot, whichever one, and you kind of lay up against the board that is there on the wall and get yourself comfortable. And then the whole entire thing starts spinning, and that centrifugal force pushes you up against the walls, and then those panels, those little beds that are up against the wall, then slide up as the spinning gets faster and faster. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now. And there would eventually be enough centrifugal force that so long as you have the strength and the coordination, you could literally stand on the wall. It was so awesome. So much fun. I loved it so much. I don't see it anymore. Like an inverted umbrella in a way. Yes, very much the very same concept. They also had another ride, which I don't remember the name of, that was exactly that, the inverted umbrella. It was caged, but it was also open air. So instead of being inside a spaceship, it was just out in the open. And of course, they strapped you down and everything and made sure you were basically buckled in for the ride. But it was the same concept. It just starts going up, it spins, but instead of having the sliding beds that you go up and down on depending on how fast it's spinning, it's actually a kind of a swing set type thing. So not only are you spinning with all the centrifugal force, but now the whole entire inverted umbrella is swinging on an axis back and forth. So you're just literally being flung through the air like a ball attached to a string being spun around in a circle. I didn't even hear what the lyrics said. It was so fast. Yeah. Not the route I thought this song was gonna go, but I'm not mad. These two dudes grunting sound like they're playing an unenthusiastic game of tennis. I hear it. I hear it. Although I'm not picturing tennis, I'm picturing ping pong. They're on a pong table. Oh, we lost our Lalafels. No. We still got a couple of people here though. You give birth. Oh, whoa. Ooh, okay. That's concerning. Can't wait for next year. The festival should be back. Mama need a few days in the forest with some wild hippies. I hear that. Is that gonna be more like a Renaissance fair or like an actual county fair or state fair, depending on where and when that's happening? That's right, Naga. Dance it out. It's Hardcore Rave setting up their own events in the forest. Oh wow. One is called Eclipse, the other is Harvest Fest. They are oh my god, that's a crap ton of people. There's a Drake on the dance floor. That took me a second because I was like, that's not my tail. I don't have an orange tail. New Hrothgar, who dis? Drake is a many of things, but he is not my tail. So as the camera was like rotating different angles, I didn't see you move to the dance floor. So when I looked up and I saw an orange tail popping out of the back of the outfit, I had to do like a double take, and it's like that's not my tail. Oh yeah, definitely. Which I'm starting to realize that during the last hour, that tends to be either where we start thinning out, or we get like that last minute rush that comes in. Because I think it's like the transitional time when other places are opening up and other places are closing. So we kind of see like a shift of people. One of these days, I'm gonna come up in here with glow sticks out the ass. Just ready for Saturday night. Just gonna be glow sticks all over my room. Not gonna become a glow stick peacock. Could you imagine an actual setup like this wire frame to set up kind of as like a an expanding peacock tail feathers, but it's just lined with glow sticks all the way through? Could you imagine? Ah! I'm ready. I'm ready. Actually, oh god, that reminds me. This happened several years ago. Um, so there was this rave that I went to at a convention, like in 2009 or whatever. Or was it? No, 2018 actually. Either 2018 or 2019. There's a decade difference there. I knew it. Anyways, but that's beside the point. This dude had this like it looked like a full body fishnet outfit, and it completely confused me because I had no idea what it was supposed to be or what the purpose was or what part of cosplay it was. But this was like a few hours before the rave, and I started to notice that there's two or three people working on him all at the same time, and they were taking those little like bracelet glow sticks and started interweaving them between the holes in the fishnet outfit, and just kept going from like the top down and kept adding more and more and more until a few hours later when the rave started and he came in, his entire body was covered in glow sticks. It was so awesome. And they even like color coded everything too. So he was like this rainbow of glow sticks from left to right. It perfection. Now, there was like several moments during the night that if he did like a little intense spin or tried to do kind of a little bit of a heavy dance move, one of those glow sticks would like pop and fly off. I picked up probably somewhere between 4 to 5 of those glow. Actually, this thing is so old, but it has been on my desk for God knows how long. It was one of the glow sticks that was attached to his outfit, and I still have this thing because I thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen in my life. I would love to do something like that myself, but the amount of time and work that it takes to just literally chain all those glow sticks together, I'm not sure if I would want to do that. Yes, Drake. Like, as much as a practical person that I am and a little bit of a minimalist, there are like certain things that just very were like defining moments in my life where that was one of them. When I saw the work, the creativity, just the simple idea of it, and then when he came out on the dance floor and literally was a walking light show, it just blew my mind away. Just, just spin in the middle of the room, just watching glow sticks fly in every direction like a blender. Jesus Christ. I come bearing gifts, and then you just start spinning and hitting everybody with just snapping glow sticks going off in every which way. I can actually like picture this in like a comic strip form in my head right now, and it's quite hilarious. Like people are ducking and covering and like cowering with their hands over their heads because there's just glow stick bullets flying off in every which way. It's like casting Ricochet with a Machinist but with glow sticks. Phoenix used improvise. Could you imagine if somebody were to catch that on like a high speed resolution camera where it does that light smear effect as all the glow sticks are flying out in each direction, and it would just kind of almost make like this willow tree effect with all the lights and glow sticks flying everywhere. Just, oh my god, these creative ideas! That would look so cool. Yes. Just where you get that light smear effect as the light travels across the screen. God, that would look so cool. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I can picture it so vividly in my head, and I just want to do that as like a special effects edited scene and nothing else, just because I want to see what it looks like. No other reason. There doesn't need to be any concept or purpose, just for the plain and simple satisfaction of watching all those lights fly off in every direction as the light streams behind them smear across the screen. Know what I miss from my time growing up in New Brunswick? Sitting around at my friend's backyard just watching fireflies. Oh, I literally grew up in the middle of the woods. I I forget the name of that woodland creature in Majora's Mask, but that was me. I was that kid. I literally lived in the middle of the woods. You had to drive 3/4 of a mile down a dirt path into the forest to get to my house. I was a woodsman. But yes, the fireflies were just countless, especially if you went down by the river that we lived right beside. There, it would just, the entire riverbed would just be lined with fireflies across the entire riverbank. Oh, I wish I had pictures. It's funny you say that, Phoenix. I actually did take up photography for a while. Had a really, really good camera, at least for the early 2000s. Um, and took quite a handful of pictures. Unfortunately, nothing was digital, so I don't have like saved copies of them all. And between like moving and just lost to the ages, pretty much, I don't have any of those pictures anymore. But they looked really well, professionally done. Like many, many people told me I had the eye for it, but I never did anything with it. I see you. Uh, it looks like we have cleared out. Y'all want to go ahead and look up at closing up a half hour early? I'm actually pulling up my Twitch raid, see who else is online, see who we can bug. I hate how like when you pull up raid channel, it only shows you 5 people. that are online out of your followers list. Just in random order. It doesn't show you everybody that's online. Just shows you just 5. Kind of annoying. But yeah, Rain is streaming Silent Hill 2. I love the fact that he plays scary horror games. I wish I could play, or have more time to play scary horror games. Because I'm pretty sure I would be the person that would be actually jumping and screaming and having a heart attack at every jump scare that would be inside this game. But I would love it. But yeah, he's playing Silent Hill 2, so we're just gonna pop on over to Rain. If you haven't seen his stream before, he actually does a lot of artwork because he is an artist himself. So definitely give his channel a follow, a subscribe if you can. Outside of artwork, he of course plays a lot of like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, scary games like what was that one Under the Ocean game he was playing? Can't remember the title of it, but definitely loved watching that. Did my raid command not work? Hello, police. Can we try that again? There it goes. Okay, now it's working. So, I will catch y'all another time. Thank you for joining. We're gonna go say hi to Rain. Be sure to give him a little wave or shout out in chat. But otherwise, y'all have a good night.